Hey guys, welcome to the very first recap of The Amazing Race Season 21. They're starting out in Pasadena, California, and they introduced the teams, so check right here if you want to see my preview of the teams and a little explanation on who they are, if you haven't already seen that. They started the race out on a bridge, and Phil drops a bombshell. He says, kids, you can win $2 million this season, but there's one little catch. You have to win the first leg and the last leg, obviously. So if you didn't win the first leg, you don't get the $2 million. You're only eligible for $1 million. So their first task was to rappel down the bridge that they were standing on. And waiting beneath them was the Ford Focuses and the clues. So yeah, the substitute teacher guy, he's afraid of heights, so it was a little for him. But the Ford Focuses were freaking awesome. They had video screens in there and push button ignition, and it was like really awesome. So there's 2 flights from LAX to Shanghai. The first one was on China Air, and only 7 teams were able to get on that flight. And that was the Chippendales, the team with the double amputee girl, the twins, the monster truckers, the dating divorcees, the blondes, and the rockers. So once they got to Shanghai, it was their first roadblock, and it was basically table tennis against the junior champion. You got to score 1 point. Sounds pretty easy. Was it? No. They made it double humiliating because it was only one person and you had to go up against them in like a cycle. So the first time around he used a paddle. The next time around he used like a clipboard. The next time around he used like a frying pan. Then like a pencil case. Then a tambourine. So if you got down to the tambourine, it was pretty humiliating and you wasted a lot of time. So a lot of people actually got down to the tambourine. Oh, the twins were super annoying. It was like, Natalie, I should have done this. I should have done this one, Natalie. Just hit it hard, Natalie. I was just hoping that they would, score so I didn't have to hear it anymore. Well, next stop was the restaurant. It's the dreaded double roadblock. The other team member who didn't do the table tennis thing had to sit down and eat 2 full papayas worth, filled with frogs' fallopian tubes. Alright, it's making me nauseous just thinking about it. But there's a little catch. You can't eat them with your hands. You have to either use chopsticks or stick your face in there. So the Chippendale guy, he like blew chunks kind of, and he had to eat it off the table. That was really gross. The monster trucker dude, he picked it up and like just scarfed it down like an oyster. And then he was like, yeah, after he finished it. But then he found out that they didn't read the clue and he had to eat 2 more full papayas of frogs' fallopian tubes. Blech. Alright, so next stop is the Bund, which we find out is like just this plaza. And there was a woman sitting under an umbrella using an abacus that they had to find, and the rockers got there first, but they totally walked right past her. Several of the teams walked right past her. My husband pointed out that when he saw the old team, the lumberjack and the marketing lady walk past, I think it's Rob and Sheila, yeah, the lady was not using the abacus. She had her hands like over it, so little conspiracy theory there. But once they found her, they were given a clue that said, hey, the first pit stop is the Bund Observatory, aka Bund Signal Tower. Get your asses there as soon as possible because the last couple to check in will be eliminated. Alright, so Amy and Daniel were on their way there first, but I guess she just wasn't fast enough, and Abby and Ryan kind of outran them. Well, they kind of fast walked them. It was really a shame because I would have liked to have seen Amy and Daniel come in first, which means that the only people that are eligible to win the $2 million are Abby and Ryan. So if they don't finish the race first, they won't win $2 million. No one will. Only $1 million. So like I said, Amy and Daniel came in second. Caitlin and Brittany, the blondes, came in third. Natalie and I just keep wanting to say Nadia. It's Natalie and God, why can't I say her name? I'm looking at it. It's like such a mental obstacle to me. They came in fourth. It's freaking me out. But they ended up lying to the monster truckers. I don't know if that's going to come back to bite them in the end or not, when they asked if they found the women with the abacus. Rob and Kelly came in fifth. James and Abba, that's his nickname, came in sixth. Seventh place went to the goat farmers, Josh and Brent. Eighth place was the substitute teachers, Gary and Will. Ninth place was Trey and Lexi. And 10th and 11th was another foot race. But it was between James and James, the Chips, and Rob and Sheila, the lumberjack and the marketing girl. What's wrong with me? Anyway, it almost seemed like they were really confused and they didn't know what was going on, because Rob and Sheila were headed over to Phil first, but they weren't exactly running. They seemed a little disoriented, and then neither were James and James, really. And when they finally got to the mat, everyone was standing there and they kind of like just nonchalantly walked over. It was really weird. I don't know if they actually knew that they were in last place or what, or that they really should get there in a hurry. It all seemed kind of strange, but James and James got 10th place and Rob and Sheila were eliminated. Bummer. It always sucks being the first one off. So they had a little tease of the upcoming season, and I must say there's quite a few wipeouts. And yes, to answer your question that I know you were thinking, the Chippendale collars do come out and make an appearance. Alright kids, till next time, much love. Oh, and by the way, it's Nadia. You're welcome.